to BuzZone.
Hi, Mom.
Okay, Josh, what'd you do?
Did a piece on stage diving, went to a couple clubs and talked to some bands and fans of certain types of music and saw how they felt about it.
I did a story on a girl. She's a mountain biker and she's hoping to be an Olympian soon. Check her out.
I did my story on a comic jam. It's where a bunch of artists get together and they draw and they pass their cartoons around and get feedback and stuff, so we went to hang out there.
I did a story on safe sex. Yes, I know we've heard so much about safe sex already, but our question is, are young people like me and you really listening?
Right.
What other story did we do?
We sent Neil out to check out Pride Group, which is a group from the States that's teaching our local kids about drug prevention, and we found out that not everybody feels the same way about Pride.
Stage diving's been getting a lot of attention recently since a couple of kids died at concerts in the States. We had a chance to check out some clubs and talk to the fans and the bands. So what type of shows do you promote?
I do a bunch of punk rock shows, punk rock and ska shows, and some pop alternative, but a lot of my shows are mostly punk rock.
Is there stage diving at your shows?
Yeah, there's a lot of stage diving at shows. Yeah, there's like a lot of moshing at shows and stuff. It's like a lot of kids get into the show pretty well, and they pretty much will jump on stage, run around the stage, and like fly off the lead singer or something like that. And most band people encourage that because it's a lot more exciting.
Do you encourage it?
Always, always, of course.
Guys, in the bush spot, let's see some stage diving. All right, here you go. Give that like a 2. What's up with that shit? There's the diving board right there.
I've done about 300 or 400 shows the past few years, and I haven't seen one serious injury yet. Because whenever a kid jumps off the stage, most of the people catch him. Like the kid who goes into the crowd and stuff, he's got to see what he's doing. He's got to make sure when he jumps, he knows he's going to land and stuff. You can't really throw yourself off stage because essentially you're so responsible for yourself when you go in the pit. You know, it's not exactly a toe-tapping crowd.
You see a lot of stage diving at shows?
Yeah, I like it. And being a part of a band, it's a very, gives a lot of energy in the band if you see people moving, and if they don't hurt themselves, that's good. It's very rare that they hurt themselves, so we encourage it.
You do it yourself?
Yeah, oh yeah, a lot of times. I go with my mic in the crowd and I sing and I trash with them and I jump, and it's just party, you know.
Just good fun, and then
yeah,
fun.
There's no rules.
How many girls in the crowd? Ladies! Let's make some noise, ladies!
I don't stage dive because personally when girls do it, all the guys grab up and grab the girls' boobs and stuff, and I did it once and people dropped me and I fell right on my face, so I think it's kind of dumb. There's really no point to it anyway. But I guess if there's enough people, they're not letting you fall, it's cool.
It's good to see the kids out there getting rid of their energy in a positive way that's influencing the band to play good music and hard music, soft music, say what they want to say in a positive way.
Do you ever feel that stage divers interfere with the band playing?
Some people get silly, yes. They like to grab the microphone or just be right up there, and that's cool actually in a way, because like it's their second of glory, their moment of glory, the same as the band or the person in the band being up there.
On the policy of the spectrum is a barricade when there's a kind of crowd or a kind of music that encourage stage diving.
Nobody wants to have the crowd surfing happening. Sorry. So please,
If the person going into the pit knows what they're in for, knows how to handle themselves and how to communicate with the other people in the pit, then it's every person for themselves. Things as bungee jumping, parachuting, riding in an airplane nowadays, like enter at your own risk.
We don't need one.
Yes, we do. Paul, stop. Paul,
Don't you trust me?
you know how I feel about this.
We've been together 2 years.
Okay, so we've all heard so much about AIDS, right? Through school, through advertising, through billboards. But the question is, now, are they really using the right message to reach us? And are we even listening? Well, how old were you when you were diagnosed?
I was 20 years old. I've never touched heroin or anything of the sort. For me, I'm just heterosexual. The person that I'm pretty sure gave this to me I found out, was a heroin user. So, and he was bisexual. I think that's the first thing I thought. It will never happen to me because I'm a sweet person. I don't harm anybody. And I think, well, I know that basically no one is immune to this. It's an epidemic. It's worldwide. Whether you're a newborn child or you're 5 years old or you're 50 years old, I think that you should really honestly practice safe sex. So use a condom and until you really know the person, because it's not written on anybody's face, and just because someone is cute.
At least consider our romance. If you should take the words of others you heard.
I guess we're out of luck.
But not out of love.
Like, I didn't think, wow, that's really cool, you know?
Oh, no, I didn't find the ads convincing at all.
Oh, I liked the ads. I thought they were fresh. You saw these ads and you see, like, this incredible woman, or these two incredible guys, or, you know, God knows what. And it was just like, well, it's not me. I don't have anything to do with these beautiful people.
If you want to get me to do something, there has to be sort of like a fear. If you guys were given the opportunity to make an ad that would reach teenagers to try to get them to use condoms, what would you put in it that would try to convince them?
Because I think the way they should kind of make people want to use condoms is the same way they want to make people wear diesel jeans or whatever. They make it kind of the cool thing, the hip thing. They make it look good on TV.
So how would you do
And so in this ad, when I see some woman saying, but we still have love, or we're not, I mean, it's not very effective.
The most effective way of getting that message across is you take a movie like Kids, or some of those ads for drinking and driving, where this little girl was sitting in the back seat of a car with her seatbelt on, and her two parents were just, you saw like this blurred vision of cut-up people being pulled away on a stretcher, and their parents were just dead.
The reason I think that maybe these might be effective and might work over, say, statistics or any of these shock kind of things is people might want to identify with this. Everyone would like to think that that's them with a beautiful girl in the front seat of a car, you know?
I think if I was making a commercial about it, I would show more real kids and the consequences, like perhaps someone down the line, because if you've ever seen a person who has, who's dying
in the last stages of AIDS, yeah.
with the blotches and everything, that when I saw that really affected me, like, oh my God, I'd hate to look like that, I'd hate to suffer like that.
The worst thing is people's ignorance, people's rejection, not understanding, and being very judgmental. What can you say to people? I would say always use condoms, no matter what, whether it's anal, normal sex, always use condoms.
Condoms are cool. They're not the loser thing to use. They're not the dirty thing to use. When you go up to a drugstore or wherever it is you buy your condoms, you buy them and be proud that you're buying them because you're being smart.
So what we've done is we've developed a funky little condom package, and we put really wild graphics on it that the kids like.
The most popular condom in all the giveaways was definitely that one.
You ever see that commercial that has a little box with a lady in the middle, and it says, and she told 2 people, and she told 2 people? AIDS is the exact same thing. It spreads like wildfire. And, Jesus, 10 years ago when it first came out, it was a gay disease, but all it took was for one bisexual man to sleep with a woman, and that was it.
How old were you when you first started drawing?
I've been drawing ever since I was a kid. I took after-school classes. I always sort of just been interested in it. There's like TV shows like that show, what's that guy's name again? Bob Ross?
The painter.
Yeah. I always sort of wanted to have something to do with cartoons, like animation or something like that. But I wanted to like find something that would like really be like a realistic career for me.
Okay, well you're in a design program at school, and from what I can guess, it would probably be a lot different than what you enjoy doing on your own. So how do they compare?
Well, it depends. Like some classes are not really what I'd like to be doing, but they're all put together to help us learn exactly how we're supposed to draw and like how we're supposed to use it in business for a career, because it's a career program. But some of the classes really are fun and like what I want to be doing.
Okay, so this one is one of your favorites?
Yeah, that project, we had to redo a drawing from a children's story.
So do you find that the comic books that you read influence your drawing styles at all?
Yeah, a lot.
In what ways?
Well, I don't know. Most of my style is not too realistic. It's more cartoonish.
When did you first get involved with the comic jams?
I think it was a couple of years ago. Like, there's a lot of other artists there, and there's like collaborations, and you can get ideas off of people. You meet people there. It's a lot more relaxed, and it's more fun.
What's happening is I'm going to be setting up a website, but I'm only going to take a few pages from each jam. But that's still sort of in the works. We're still figuring out how we're going to do that.
So exactly is a comic jam? Can you tell us what it's...
Okay, well, the core of it is what you see right here. This is kind of a contracted version of the larger events that I usually do. A bunch of comic artists get together, sit around a room, drink coffee, drink beer, and, well, one person will draw one panel on a comic strip, then pass it along to someone else, whether it's someone they know or someone they don't know, whatever. And then that person will say, well, where do I go from here? And they'll draw something, and then they'll pass it along, and at the end you've got a strip with 6 different artists. And of course will make no sense, but it'll look great. Ceres, this genius over here, was he set the whole thing up, and he drew this thing right here. And then Eric Braun, who's sitting over there, he came along, he drew this. And then Richard, who's standing right here, says, what do I do next? So he did this. And then Howard followed him up by having an old lady get hit by the car.
It's not finished yet, though.
It's not finished. That's the thing. Okay, tag team. Hand it off to Billy.
Billy.
There's Billy.
Right on. Just like the old explanation grease. Should I go here?
But a lot of the people here are older, what you might call professional cartoonists, although there's not really that much money in comics, so professional is kind of a loose term. But people who have decided that, yeah, comics is what they want to do with their life, yeah.
I'm working on the panel where she does blow his head open and his brains fly out. I have that dignity. That's my specialty. Psychic blast. It's fun to be able to draw with my friends as opposed to just drawing at home by myself.
I'm recording my What do you like so much about them that makes you keep coming back?
I like drawing. It's fun. Drawing with other people's fun.
For the time being, I'd rather focus on, sort of bring it back to the original idea and focus on the comic art itself, especially because I'm getting the website. I'd like to see the art like tighten up a bit, be a little bit better, and sort of like just regenerate the energy among the artists.
Can anyone come in and draw?
Absolutely. I encourage anyone to.
So you can come off the street and sit down and start drawing?
Absolutely. You know, it's a pretty unique thing.
No, not at all.
it's the same thing drinking alcohol.
Marijuana is not physically addictive, it's mentally addictive. As long as you don't use it on a day-to-day basis, then it's okay.
You can't really get addicted to it. But if you're talking about coke or, crack or hard stuff like that, obviously you do get addicted, I'm completely against it.
There's a program being implemented in the high schools in the city right now. It's called Pride Canada, and they believe in total abstinence from drugs, alcohol, and cigarettes. Despite their good intentions, however, there are teenagers out there that believe this isn't a very realistic approach. Let's go find out.
It stands for Parents Resource Institute on Drug Education, and it kind of blossomed from there because we saw a real need for a youth movement.
Listen to me now. We've got a...
We train them to be peer leaders. And not only peer leaders, but they have to walk the walk. They just get their friends. It's just positive peer pressure.
Why did you join the Pride team here in Montreal?
Well, I joined because there is a large problem, and I'd like to be able to reach out to not just my peers, but to my community, and show them that there's more than just drugs.
It's kind of pointless. I mean, drugs are going to be legal soon. I can feel it. Alcohol is legal. I mean, what's the point? People are going to do it anyway.
Kids are thinking that there's no harmful effects to marijuana because people are trying to legalize it in the government, so they're getting these mixed messages.
I've always believed in the drug and alcohol-free life. With religious beliefs, I have always felt that the drug and alcohol-free life is a very good life to live.
My cousin Shane Kruger was killed from drugs, alcohol, and violence. The show tonight is dedicated to him.
Now, when I participated in Pride Canada, I was totally against drugs, alcohol, smoking, the entire thing. And slowly, as I grew up, I experienced things myself, and I was interested, and I wanted to know what all of this was about. And I did. And I don't abuse it.
Don't pull that shit over my head. I can't be dead. I got a date tonight. I'm gonna grow up and have a wonderful life. I haven't lived yet. I'm only 16.
I saw you watching the skit, and I noticed that the one that the U.S. chapter had put on, and I noticed that you were getting very emotional. Why is that?
Actually, my grandfather died last week because he was an alcoholic. Don't be like him. Don't do it.
We take those kids that have already decided in their life that they're going to be drug-free, and we use them to teach the younger kids who haven't tried. We prevent the younger kids from using.
I went as a volunteer. I wanted to go. There were a lot of schools and a lot of parents that forced their children to go.
People told me when I was younger not to touch drugs or anything because it was dangerous, and it didn't keep me away.
We asked a lot of students on the street about Pride, about the program, and a lot of them said it's just not realistic.
Then I would like to hear an alternative to what is working, because we have been in existence for 13 years, and we are doing good things, and kids are coming on. You've seen that this weekend.
So what do you think is the best method to stop adolescents from trying drugs?
Get some people to meet with these adolescents, people who use drugs and quit, who know what they're talking about and what are the consequences of drugs.
I know of a number of students in Pride that smoke cigarettes, that do drink alcohol, and that smoke weed.
There's none in my school, but I know that there are some in some of the other schools. And usually once they come into the program, they usually drop that habit and try and do their best not to be involved in it. If they continue on, they won't stay in the program for very long.
I think that, depending on the certain person, it may work for some people, but it may not work for other people.
People wondering who would be the first mountain biking Olympic champion.
I'm thinking about 2000 in Sydney, Australia. So that'll be very, very hard. I know that because the women that are out there right now are so strong, and it's just growing each year, and it's incredible, all the new technology they're putting into it, and that just attracts a lot more people. about fun and relaxing and being in nature and not destroying the nature too. That's an important aspect. If you get up early around, I don't know, 7, 8, on your bike around 9, you have to be on your bike before it gets really hot out there. I can do some endurance, which is 2, 3, 4 hours. It depends, but pretty much every day I ride. You can have cross country, which is more the endurance type of mountain biking, which is what I focus on. And you can have downhills. That's a bit more gnarly, a bit more dangerous. It demands a lot of upper body strength, because a lot of times you have to pull when you're going up, or you know, pull the front of your bike over, let's say, over a rock or over a log.
Melanie, what's so special about your bike?
It's a carbon fiber frame. There's no welds. Front suspension helps a lot when it gets bumpy. And it's really light, about 23 pounds. Look at this.
Oh, yeah.
Got nothing.
That is
Goes fast
awesome.
uphill.
So awesome. So awesome.
My bike.
I'm looking at all this cool stuff, and I noticed this helmet with all these holes in it. What's the difference between these helmets?
These Giro helmets are really lightweight, and they got a lot of holes for ventilation, so it just keeps your head cool, and you can still think while you're hammering and you're really, you know, really pushing hard.
This one is like I don't know.
Yes, this is a full-face helmet for when you want to go downhilling. It's really important to have a full-face helmet so you don't mess up all your head if your face, you know, if you crash.
Like, why would people buy these glasses? Like, what's so special?
Really good quality. They're really light, got really good lens. They're going to last very long, and they look cool. This is more what you want to wear if you're going to go, you know, hardcore, like, or just get muddy. This is a really good jersey for, you know, to go for a ride. So why don't you go try some of this gear?
Okay.
Yeah, cool.
So what do you think? How do I look?
You look cool.
Yeah, do I look like a real biker now?
Yep.
All right.
Now you're cool. I just want to go as far as I can, you know, as many Olympics as I can be at, and as many medals as I can win. I just love it. I just want to do it all my life. That's what I want to do.
Thanks, BuzZone. See ya.
That's all the time we have for today on BuzZone. Tune in next week.